boots for a little bit. I'm going to leave those on too. I do have blocks. Those are always nice when we're working together. So let's go ahead and extend our arms out so that maybe, again, depending on your anatomy, your hands, your fingers can wrap around your knees just a bit. As you do, look down at those feet and see if they're running parallel. See if we can line up our ankles and our knees and then our feet, and then everything else seems to kind of come into play. And then let's take it a little bit off balance by just keeping sits bones grounded, but just taking the torso to the left, centered, and then to the right, really focused on pressing down into both sits bones evenly. So we're not shifting weight off of those hips. You're going to really feel that in your obliques, okay? And let's just kind of rock-a-bye baby here a bit. On the same note, you know, I believe that this life and death, there's just such a cycle, right? And I know my daughter was born right before my father got his cancer diagnosis. And then she was about 3 months old when he died. But it's just that kind of the having something now in your life to look forward to. And a friend of mine, well, you may know her, Viola, over at Vessel. Okay, now start to move off of that sits bone. So really leaning over onto there. Sits bone picks up from that hip. Come on back. Her daughter is about to have a baby. And Denise's son and daughter-in-law are about to have a baby, right, Denise? Coming up in January.
Coming up, yeah.
January, I think like the 3rd week or something like that. Something like that.
That's about right, yeah.
Yeah. So that's, you know, we have focus on those things too. And then just coming back into center. Let's do a little bit of opening and warming up of the joints in our spine with some cow and cat. Taking that in our breath. Inhale. Heart comes forward, lifting chin. Exhale, curl, tuck, round, chin to chest. Keep on going. And I know you all are pretty familiar with how we keep emotions trapped and locked in our bodies, right? And these cow and these cats that open up our heart and our lungs, really open us up to joy, the beauty there, but also to any grief or sadness that we might be experiencing. Let's do 2 more sets here. Good. Come on up into our straight spine, and let's take our arms out. This thing's going to come off because it's going to definitely get in the way here. And let's take our arms out to the side, and let's shrug our shoulders up and then drop them down. And when we do, turn your palms out. So you're going to really feel this opening here, and then pull them back down. Shrug those shoulders up to your ears. Kind of lets the whole weight of your body come down a bit. And then sit up straight and open up arms and let your heart come and expand. And then back to palms down. Shrug those shoulders down. Let them come down. Palms outward. Keep twisting them as your heart comes forward too. And then one more set. Palms down, shrug those shoulders up, shrug them, exhale. Open up and release into chest, heart, chin, throat, gaze, and then come on back. Exhale those hands down. Let your chin come and follow down to chin to chest. Let yourself just be hanging forward. And then keep the chin down, release your hands up, interlace, okay? Squeeze. Lifting here, chin still is down, and then take your hands just to the back of your head. Just let them sit there. Let your elbows come down. We're not yanking on our heads or really pulling down. We're just letting that slight weight of our hands, arms, be at the back of our heads and help us release a little more into the back of our neck. So much that our heads carry around. And then open up your wings, open up your elbows. Let your head slowly come up. So we find our hands interlaced at the back of our heads. Let your head now weight into those hands, keeping the hands and the head kind of isometrically connecting. The head wants to push back. The hands are not letting it. So just keeping the head nice and long, letting it press back, weight into your open palms. Feel that expanding into your chest area too. Good. And then just make sure we're seated up straight. No more connecting any heaviness to hands and head, just loosely there. And if this gets to be too much, you can take your hands to your shoulders, okay? Either way. And then we're just going to tip to one side. Inhale yourself up. Tip to the other. That's your exhale. Bring yourself up. Keep going. Again, either hands at the back of the head or hands on shoulders. This is inhale. This is exhale. Or switching, right? Just changing things up a little bit. One is not better than the other. One is not an increase in anything necessarily. It's just a different way of getting into the side of our bodies. Stay with our breath. Let's do one more set each side. Pulling one elbow down as the other one lifts up. And then taking ourselves here. If you have your hands at the back of your neck, just go and take them to your shoulders, and let's take circles here. Warming up into those joints. And reversing here. One more circle. And then taking our elbows out again. Let's leave one hand on the shoulder. Lift the other arm up. And let's see if coming over here, please keep your feet grounded and your sits bones grounded. If we find some more length, again, if that's not acceptable to your shoulder, then go ahead and bring that arm down a little bit more. Holding this for another big breath. And just in case any of you are wondering, go ahead and lift up, inhale. And release this hand down. Josephine is fine. She just had an appointment this morning because I know she's one of them that's always here. Many of you lengthen here. And we miss the people when they're not here. We wonder, right? had one person that's been kind of in and out, and she's back again. And glad for her to be feeling upbeat again. Everybody needs their own time and their own place, I guess, to find all that healing. Bring yourself up, both arms lift. Exhale, pull it on down into a cactus arm. From here, one hand stays up, the other comes down. And then just work back and forth in this kind of awkward scarecrow kind of way, working with biceps and triceps, working in that elbow joint, shoulder. Now let's take our head into it. Look one way, look the other. Really coordinating now. Head, arms, breath. One more set, please. Arms rise up, lift all the way, inhale. And let's exhale, take your arms right under left, okay? Find this X, and let's take hands to our shoulders. Before we come, if any of you do, into more of that full eagle, let's take this time with our hands on our shoulders to pull them down. Sitting up straight and tall, let's see if the shoulders can come a little bit away, more away from the ears than they normally would. Let your crown rise up. Good. And then go ahead and release those arms into maybe forearms perpendicular to the ground. Hands may connect or not. And let's take and scoot over that left foot to the center. Take your right leg over, coming into more of a full expression of eagle here. Maybe you go ahead, and if this is not appropriate for you, you lower that leg down, you put it on a block, okay? Or if you want to try and bring that front ankle around the back, you can, but only if your knees and your ankles say yes to that. I'm not going to today, it doesn't really quite fit with my boot. Lift up high, inhale, flow yourself forward, exhaling, elbows towards your belly button. Really let go of that neck. Lift yourself up, inhale. And take yourself on forward, exhaling, elbows to your navel. Keep going. As high as your arms, your shoulders, your breath allow. And as deep and low as you're able to come in. So we're kind of doing a little bit of cat and cow. Lift arm. So sorry. Didn't turn that off. And then let's do one more set of this kind of cat and cow. Pulling up and pulling down. Good. And then releasing arms back out to our cactus arms and releasing leg down. Before we do the other side, let's go ahead and just take, arms will stay the same, just the waist pulls over, bring yourself up, take yourself in this direction. Mm-hmm. Let's do a few more of those. Your breath, exhaling down. Bring yourself on it. Yeah, inhale. One more side here, just getting into our sides and our waistline. That's where we'll offer that to Josephine, that waistline. Always talked about finding hers again, and then releasing arms down. Let's sit in mountain for a few breaths. Make that easy transition then into the other side of our eagle. Go ahead and lifting arms, rise up, inhale. Wings now, they've transformed into exhaling right under left. Was that what we did before? I think it was. Now it's left under right, I think. And find yourself hugging yourself. Please try and do the opposite way. Pull down on those shoulders. Let your chin dip down as well if that feels good to you. This time, let's take the heaviness of our head, shoulders, whatever's weighing on them. Let our torso drift forward with a straight spine. And then bring it back, situated straight with an inhale. Exhale it forward. Straight spine, inhaling up. So we're doing a little bit of core work here. Extend through our head and our spine, bringing yourself forward and back. 2 more sets, please. Exhaling downward. Still letting those shoulders pull away from your ears, inhaling up. Exhaling. Good, and then rising back up. If you are one that will take those arms and interlace them, please do. If not, hands can stay at your shoulders. And let's go ahead and take our right leg over our left, or whichever is the opposite of what we did before. Oh my gosh, no, I think that was this way. There we go. Left over right for me. All right, I think I've got it. Rise up, inhale. Maybe arc into that spine a bit as those elbows lift, and then exhale, taking yourself into that curling cat. We've connected cat and eagle here. Lift yourself on your end, breath. And keep going. You're flowing, you're knowing. We'll do 2 more sets, please, if you've got it in you. Great. And coming back up into center. Release those arms. Let them fly up. Inhale. Let them come into cactus. Let's go ahead and just bring those arms together. We're not going to crisscross. We're just going to take elbows. Can they meet? Forearms, can they meet? Hands, can they meet? Release that leg. Squeeze into palms. Squeeze into elbows. Lift the elbows just a little bit more. Keep squeezing in here isometrically. And then let your knees come apart, your feet come apart. Keep lifting up, inhale. And then exhale with your straight spine. Press those hands and elbows together. Bring yourself so that your spine, your head is parallel to the ground. The forearms, your hands are parallel to the ground. You're kind of stacked torso above the parallel line of your arms. Press down into your feet, activating them. Come on up, inhale. Lift those arms, press into them. I'm feeling this. I don't know about you all. Come on forward. Head doesn't go lower than the heart. We stay at about that even to one another. Press through feet, press through hands, arms. Lift on up, inhale. Woo, exhale. Releasing. Let's take some circles with our wrists, right? And maybe into our elbows, yeah, and into our shoulders a little bit, and let all of that release. That eagle pose is so important and so good for our joints. Let's go ahead and reverse that kind of flowing motion. Maybe we're flipping our fingers in and out too, and just saying, thank you, joints, for still moving for me. Yeah, we got a little more crinkly cracking in them maybe than we used to, but they're still working. And then place your hands on your knees. And again, our feet are separated a bit, heels in, toes out, and just adjusting on my sits bones here. And from here, I'm going to slide down this leg, sliding up this side body, tickle my armpit, lift that elbow up and slide on back to neutral, centered. Exhale myself down, tickle that opposite armpit, let my head go. And then slide up on an inhale. Exhale, take yourself down, just flow with this, right? A little vinyasa flow here. Vinyasa flow doesn't mean necessarily we have to be doing 108 sun salutations. Vinyasa means we move with our breath. Let's do 2 more sets. Really getting some good side opening here. I think 1 more set here. I can't even count up to 2. Good, and then find yourself situated and seated here. Let's work ourselves into some goddess poses since we already have our legs ready. Inhale, lifts. Exhale, pull down, goddess. Yeah. Inhale, lift. Any of you that wish to take this to your feet, you certainly can. Exhale down. But how can we take it to our feet and still stay seated, right? How? Push into the earth with your feet. You may even feel it more by doing that than standing, okay? I'm pressing in, and that is accentuating that opening, and it's accentuating the connection of my muscles to my hips and my muscles to my leg bones. I'm going to do 2 more here. Really reach up, lengthen side body. Pull it down on your exhale. Una vez más, lifting. Pull it on down. Hands come behind your head. Ooh. Let's take a elbow to knee. And let's just rest there for a few breaths, okay? Just breathing into this kind of twist, right? Because I'm twisting and opening up my heart a bit, but I'm lengthening through my spine, and I'm getting a good opening on the outside of my body, staying nicely supporting of my head. And slowly I'm going to bring myself back up to center. Exhale myself over, knee towards thigh, elbow towards thigh or knee. And I can open up as much as I want with bringing that upper elbow back a bit. Gaze can stay upward, it can stay centered, it can look down, it can look all around. You decide. Take a few breaths here. Just because we're not moving and we're breathing in this hole doesn't mean that this is necessarily easy, right? We're still getting a lot out of this. Couple more breaths here. Lifting up, inhale. Whew. Exhale, go ahead and let your arms come down. Good. And I think we need some warrior spirit today. This weather is getting colder, and who knows, we're going to get a storm, and who knows what's going on out there for you guys in your world in terms of holiday chaos and such. Hopefully, we're learning to calm that a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and take one leg over to the side. I want to make sure that that's lined up. So I've got my boot on still, but there's my ankle, there's my knee, foot comes straight forward. So I had to bring it in a little bit because it was a little bit angled. And then this comes right into my hip, right? And so I'm going to come into warrior one. So this other leg is going to come back, and I'm going to lift myself a little bit off the chair if I need to help let this leg come behind me. Now, that does not feel good to you, maybe here or somewhere else. We take this block and we place our knee on that block, okay? So the idea here with warrior one is that we're mostly facing forward. So knee down, great. If you want to stretch it out to the back or more to the side, you can do that. You can stand up. You guys do what feels right for you, okay? And then I'm going to go ahead and lift up, inhale. Lengthening everything I have here. Looking up. Exhaling down. Looking up, inhale towards my fingers. Exhale towards my heart. Good. And then lengthen it again, inhale. And then the hand of that extended back leg comes down onto that leg, sliding down or wrapping around or taking hand to chair. And then offering our heart space again. It's a big open-heartedness today, which again can open up joy, or it can open up ourselves into tears. And then lift yourself up. Let that arm come up and join the other one. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, pull down into cactus. Offer a heart by pulling back gently on elbows and shoulders. Gaze rises. Lift yourself on up again. Opposite hand, the hand of the knee that's forward and bent comes down behind you on that chair. Hold on, okay? Or wrap around. You don't want to hold on, wrap it around. That just takes a little bit more of your body coordinating itself. And then lift up, heart, arm comes upward. These are called exalting warrior ones. We're exalting our heart up towards the heavens. And then we bring our torso straight, both arms come up and they lift high. We pull down into cactus arms. Let our shoulders squeeze together. Heart pops out. And then rising up, inhale. And then exhale, both hands down now, okay? Interlace behind you or hands on your hips. You figure out what works. And if your leg's getting tired of being long like this, you can go ahead and bend it in. All right, we don't want anybody overtaxing or overburdening themselves. So hands here, here, or interlace, press down again. This time, squeezing shoulders, both shoulders together. Look at how that heart pops out, and bring your chin up. And that heart just beats forward. Thank you, heart, for beating. Thank you, breath, for breathing. Thank you, life, for living. Bring ourselves up. And now we're going to take ourselves into that humble warrior place to start to bring your body forward. Now, I'm going to suggest for many of us that you take and release your arm of the bent leg to that thigh, okay? The other hand can stay on your back as you continue to bring your torso down on the inside of that forward leg. So far, my back is straight, right? And I haven't lowered my head more than my heart. If you have another block, you can take your hand to that or to the ground, or you can continue to lower your head lower than your heart in an inversion, in this bowing down, this releasing, letting go of ego. And this bringing ourselves up, slowly coming out of that, wherever your hands decided to be, release them now, upwards, fingers towards the sky. Let's pull it up down into cactus and open the heart again. Good. Rise up. Exhale, hands come down onto that front thigh and just sit with your eyes closed. That was a lot of movement in the spine, a lot of opening up into the heart space, offering ourselves, facing our fears is what Warrior One is all about. Facing any other emotion that might be coming up for us with strength. Not fearlessness, I don't believe there is such a thing, but with courage. And then we're going to slowly make that rotation back, forward, and then to the other side, lining ourselves up like we did earlier with either this back leg now, which was the front leg. That's either going to rest on the block or you have it ready there in case you go from that extended to bent. And find what works for you. Adjusting yourself on your seat. Getting that front leg lined up. And maybe again extending through the back or out to the side or taking it down onto that block or having that block ready for when we're ready to go there, okay? Let's go ahead and lift our arms up, inhale. Really lengthening here, side body. Feeling into what's attaching and holding you up, okay? The chair, yes, obviously. Front foot, back, shin or foot. Look up to your hands, inhale. Exhale, chin to chest. Looking up, inhale to fingers. Exhaling down into your heart. Lift up again. And the hand of the leg that's extended back slides down that leg if it's back or to your chair or wrap around. Let the other arm come up and your heart follows it. If we only let our heart kind of lead the way. And follow it. Let it be our guiding light. And then bringing yourself back up straight, release that hand, take it up. Pull yourself into cactus. Squeeze shoulders, open the heart. And then lifting back up, inhale. And exhale, the opposite hand, the hand of the leg that's forward, comes behind you. Push down on that chair to lengthen your spine, or hold down onto something for leverage, and lift up through the other hand. Let your heart come forward and that arm maybe come back a bit. Breathing into a smile on your face as you lift up towards the heavens. Bringing yourself back up. Both arms follow suit, lifting. Pulling down into cactus, letting heart open. How do we do that? Pull elbows back, squeeze shoulders, fingers ignite, heart ignites, and then lift up, inhale. And then exhaling, we're taking both hands behind us, interlace in that opposite way. You had your leg back and you're tiring of that. Anytime you can take your shin to a block. Squeezing here, our hands at hips. Let's open up into that heart opening there. Squeezing into both shoulders, really looking up. Breathing. Lifting up. And then again, either releasing hands to hips or waist or thigh or block. Take yourself forward with a straight spine, okay? So we're in that straight spine, and scoot back just a bit. And you can stay right here, okay? You do not need to take and lower your head below your heart. Only if you want to, you can certainly begin to do that and bowing. Take a bow down to Mother Earth. Releasing and letting go. Heavy stuff. Ego. Anything that feels like it's just stuck on us. Slowly, if you let your head go lower than your heart, lift yourself back up to that flat spine. Taking hands to your hips or interlace behind you, continue to lift yourself up and acknowledge that heart space again, looking up, squeezing, and then bringing yourself back to center. Release your arms, bring them on up, inhale. Lengthen, pull down into cactus, bring that heart open again. And then bring yourself back, arms lift. And let's let them both come down. Hands on that front thigh, and let's just consider what our bodies have just done. That's a lot. That's a full spectrum, warrior one. And then go ahead and slowly begin to take ourselves back into center position. And we're going to do a salute to the gods and goddesses here. Not sure if we've done that before here or not. I'm going to sit up straight in our chairs. I'm going to extend one leg long, and we're going to lift our arms up. And when I take my hands up, I'm going to keep them in prayer and just tuck the thumbs over one another, okay? So lifting up here, lengthening, bringing myself forward with a straight spine. And then that bent knee, I'm going to go ahead and start to round my spine and see how close my forehead might get to my knee or thigh. I keep rounding as my prayerful hands shoot towards my toe of that bent leg. Feel that opening in the back of your neck and in your shoulders. And then we slowly pull in our abdominal muscles as we lift up out of that. Taking our torso straight. Exhale, let your arms come down as your foot comes in and the other one slides out. Take your hands back up again. Cross with that opposite thumb over. Prayerful hands here. Salute to the gods and goddesses, keeping a nice straight spine for as long as you can. Letting your torso pull forward, then curl and tuck, rounding, taking as much of your contraction down towards your thigh or knee. Letting yourself rise up slowly, especially we had a little bit of head lower than heart there. Rising up, bring your foot back in, release your arms on down. Good, and let's just take some shoulder rolls here. A lot of shoulder action there with those. Everything we've done so far. And let's go in that opposite direction with breath. So it makes this a little different than fitness classes because we really want to be moving with our breath. But that doesn't mean our fitness classes can't allow us to move with breath as well. Good, and then sitting up straight and tall. We really haven't done any twists. So let's twist, right? And by the way, Thursday, go ahead and bring your left foot in. Right leg crosses over if that's available to you, or you keep the leg downward, okay? But we're trying to get our legs together. Thursday, I will be flying to Houston, but Viola is going to do the hybrid Zoom, and she has some dance moves to share with you for balance. So if you can, check that out Thursday, either in person, she'll be there, or via Zoom, okay? Let's go ahead and lift our arms up, inhale. Exhale, take our hands into prayer position. And let's go ahead and twist over to one side, keeping the hands at the sternum. So we're just twisting as much as we can with our gaze and our obliques. And then slowly unwinding back to center. Hands stay here and begin to come over. Press hands together. Keep them locked at your sternum, glued there. They're going to want to go with you. And we're not going to do that yet, but we will in a moment. Keeping them just there, working it in towards your neck and your waist. Okay. And slowly unwinding, keep your length there. Okay, we come back forward. And then let's go ahead, take it like we just did. Okay, keeping your hands at your sternum. Then go ahead, take the hands towards the direction you are turning. Press those hands. Let the elbow come back a little farther. Your prayerful hands now are about your armpit. And then bring them back towards sternum and take yourself back into center. Let's do the other side. Let's go ahead and twist first without moving our hands. Press the hands together. You can continue to build energy by more isometric pressing of hands together. And then let those hands come back into the twist with you, okay? By pressing those hands together and back. Elbow reaches behind you to the back of your chair. And then bring yourself back, slowly coming out of that twist into center. Beautiful. Release your hands release your leg. Let's let everything just kind of go. To the other side. All right, let's do the other side. So now I'm going to go ahead and, oh God, why can't I remember what side I think I had? Now it's my right leg over, is that right, you guys? My other leg, is that the leg? I don't know, or was it like this? I'm really having a hard time with that today. I think I need to go this way. Okay, hands at heart center. Thank you, Denise, for giving me that. I don't know. And because if I don't know, I can't expect you guys to know. I need to keep track of that. All right. Yeah. So this is, yeah, today in class earlier today, and now I'm doing it again. So I've got to be focus, Julie, focus. Hands together. Let me go ahead and start taking that twist over without moving my hands off my sternum, okay? But it is important that we did switch legs. So I hope you did. Release and come back, because it does make a difference in this external rotation that we are building by doing this, and it affects the twist as well. Bring yourself back. And now let's take ourselves one more time over to this side and release the hands and let them help us take that twist on back a little bit more. And long spine releases us back in this direction. And then we keep that long spine, sternum and hands glued together to begin with. And then take them off center. Let yourself come a little bit more into that twist with the assistance of your arms, your elbow, still the waist, hands back to sternum, slowly unwinding. Ooh, releasing, release that top leg, which hopefully was a different leg than you did before. And let's lift our arms up, make a V. V for victory. And then let's slide our legs out and make an X. Okay. And don't slide off the chair, but have yourself reaching up, pressing down into the soles of your feet so you can open up those ankles there. Really lifting. And now go ahead and take your arms together at the top. Take and slide those legs together. Make yourself long, toes pointed. Really stretching out, lengthening. And then one more time, let's open up into that X. From here, bring one arm a little bit longer and then come back to center. Then take the other arm a little bit longer, come back to center. Do that a few more times. One more time each side. Good. Taking everything back, closing it up. Taking hands to heart center, bend into your knees. And let's do prayerful twists. So from here, I'm going to keep my hands here like I did right before. I'm going to twist to one side. Then I'm going to let my elbow come to my thigh, maybe my knee of that same side. If you have more of twists in you, you can take that elbow to the opposite leg, okay? Not necessary, you're getting good twist right here. Let your hands be at your sternum. Let yourself look up. Let your legs squeeze together. This way I can't forget which leg is on top because they're both in the same position. So squeeze, 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 lengthen your spine. Hands are together and bring that long spine up and take it then out of the twist. So you don't want to raise up and come out of the twist at the same time, but do them little by little. Okay, squeezing those legs together. Let's go ahead and take our, when you should feel this tomorrow, really in those obliques. Take yourself into that twist, squeeze those legs together. Your elbow comes down to meet thigh, or maybe if it doesn't meet it, at least it's coming close by. Or maybe knee, that same leg, or you cross it over, okay? And pray. Pray in this twisted, twisted chair, prayerful chair, they call it. Sometimes we do that standing in chair, or we'll take one leg behind us and balance in a lunge this way. And so now lift up first before you untwist, okay? Lift up and then come out of that twist. Good. Hands come down. So I can't say now that we didn't get enough twists in today because we just did quite a bit of that. And again, you may or may not feel that here. Maybe you're feeling things less because you're practicing more. And maybe we do something that's kind of different. You say, oh man, I feel that in the muscles. So it was a little something that we did that was not like other things that we've done before. So let's go ahead now and just do sitting in our hero's pose. And here we're just going to do a little bit of arm sun salutation. Rise up, inhale. Exhale, flow those hands down to your sternum, your heart. Let them bypass, go towards your navel. Fingers press downwards, then they come back up, inhale. And exhale. Release and come up. So marking breath with movement. And reversing that. Let's do that and reverse it like 4 or 5 times. Lengthen. Exhale, hands come down. They come in. They turn up into prayer hands and they come and bypass your heart, your face. Lift up, inhale. You close your eyes, you can really kind of get into the flow of this. Very simple, but very calming. Something we all can use, right? Let's do 2 more here, wherever you are. And then hands back on your thighs into hero's pose. Finding your long spine, finding your long breath. Being really ever so grateful for our lives, for our breath, our heartbeat. For the people, things, events that come into our lives. One more time, raise your arms up, inhale. Exhale down into heart center. I honor the place in you where the universe dwells. I honor that beautiful place in you where there is love, light, peace, and joy. For when you are in that place in you, and I am in that place in me, we are one and we are connected. Thank you for coming today so that we could be one and we can be connected in this beautiful way. From my heart to yours, thank you for your presence. It's always a gift. Namaste.